Dear students, today we will study family Poaceae, Barnhart, which is also called as grass family. Earlier it was known as Gramini ALD Jasur. Remind you, Gramini is still a valid name, legitimate name. You can use it. And I am your Rajkumar sir. Poa is the type genus of the family Poaceae and of the order Poales. It means that the names Poaceae and Poales are based on the generic name Poa. Poa is the Greek name for grass. On the right hand side, you see the picture of Poa annua. With regard to the classification as per Bentham and Hooker, the class is Monocotyledone, series Glumaceae, family Gramini. Now it is called as Poaceae. The salient features of this family are: it includes herbs or shrubs with hollow internodes and jointed stems, leaves distichous with distinct sheath enclosing the stem and the linear blade, with often a ligule at their junction. The family has spikelets with two glumes. Flowers are reduced, enclosed in a lemma and palea. Perianth is represented by lodicules. Ovary is superior and stigma is feathery. The fruit is caryopsis. As far as distribution and major genera are concerned, this family includes 780 genera, 12,000 species. This is the fourth largest family after Orchidaceae, Astraceae and Fabaceae. This is worldwide distributed from poles to equator and from mountain peaks to sea level in all types of climates and habitats. The major genera are Poa with 500 species, Panicum with 450 species, Festuca with 430 species, Paspalum with 350 species, Stipa with 300 species, Bromus with 160 species, Elymus with 150 species, Sporobolus with 140 species, Bambusa with 125 species, Citeria with 100 species, Arundinaria with 50 and Chloris with 50 species. And you are also aware that this family includes the major cereals like rice, wheat and maize. These are the pictures of Poa annua, Panicum antidotale, Festuca, Paspalum scrobiculatum, Stipa tenuissima, Bromus, Elymus canadensis, Sporobolus, Bambusa oldemii, Citeria italica, Arundinaria gigantea, Chloris guyana. Now we will study the vegetative characters. First, the habit and habitat. Majority are herbaceous annuals like Triticum, Avena, sea kale, Hordeum, Ziamase, Cymbopogon, Centauris, Poa, etc. Many plants are perennial like Saccharum spontaneum, Saccharum munja, Arundodonax. Many are shrubby, Bambusa, Arundinaria, Phyllostichus, etc. There are tree-like species also like Bambusa nutans. Grasses can be hydrophytic. Grasses grow under mesophytic, xerophytic, halophytic, epiphytic and hydrophytic conditions. Many grow at high altitudes and in alpine regions. For example, Elymus repens synonym is Agropyron repens. These are the pictures of Triticum aestivum, Avena stiva, sea kale cereal, Hordeum, Ziamase, Cymbopogon citratus. This is Centauris ciliaris, Saccharum spontaneum, Saccharum munja, Arundodomax, Phyllostichus aurea, Bambusa nutans, Elymus repens, Cynodon dactylion, which is also the dube grass, Hygrorhiza aristata. Now we will study about the roots of this plants of this family. The roots are always adventitious, branched, fibrous. Sometimes, for example, in Ziamase, the roots arise from the aerial nodes and form stilts or supports. The stem is an underground rhizome in all perennial grasses like cynodon, agropyrum, bambusa, saccharum, arundinaria. The rhizome is usually horizontal or semi-erect and branches sympodially, giving off aerial shoots in tufts or singly every year. Aerial shoots are hollow in bamboo or solid in saccharum or maybe a runner in cynodon, stolon in hygroisa. Tubers and corms are found in some species. In most of the grasses, mainly axis, develops lateral branches called as tillers. Stem has nodes and internodes. Intercalary meristem is present above the node. The leaves are distichous, simple, alternate, exstipulate, mostly sessile, petiolate in panicum, parallel vein, leaf base forms tubular sheath surrounding the internode and free linear blades. Ligules are present at the junction of blade and sheaths. Leaf blade and sheaths are hairy or smooth. Grain of silica is often present in epidermal cells, making the leaf rough. Leaf margins often roll, especially on drying. The rolling of leaves is visible in the grasses during the dry season. In many species, there are two lateral pointed outgrowths above the ligule called the auricles. In this photograph, we observe three images. The first image shows the blade and the sheath. The second shows the leaf blade, ligule, auricle, and the sheath. In the third image, the stem axis has been removed, and we can easily observe the blade, ligule, the auricle, and the sheaths, leaf sheaths. With regard to the floral characters, first we will study the inflorescence. Inflorescence is complex, usually composed of many spikelets combined in various manners on main axis called the rachis. Spikelets may be sessile as in triticum, stalked in avena, spike of spikelets in triticum, raceme of spikelets in arundinaria, panicles of raceme in avena stiva. These are the inflorescence of barley, wheat, avena stiva. Spikelets are sessile or stalked. When stalked, that is called as pedicel, or are whorled, opposite or distichous, that is they are present on one or two sides on the inflorescence axis. Each spikelet consists of an axis which is called as rachila. At the base of spikelet is present two empty bracts or glooms which are called as gloom 1 and gloom 2. You can see on the diagrammatic representation on the right hand side, and this representation is actually shown in the photograph itself, the actual photograph of the spikelets of wheat. At the base of spikelet, as I told you, there are two empty glooms, gloom 1 and gloom 2, which are equivalent to bracts, which are little above and opposite to each other. That is, they are distichous. The second gloom is sometimes modified or it may be absent. Above this second gloom, we can see 3 to 5 flowers, and the upper 1 to 2, 3 florets, flowers may be absent or may be sterile or they can be lacking. And each spikelet, each floret has two flowering glooms, one is lima and palea, and the exact flower. Each spikelet is with two glooms enclosing one or more florets borne on inflorescence axis called the rachila, usually in two rows. One or few flowers or florets not exceeding 5 are borne on the rachila. Each floret consists of a minute lateral axis with two additional bracts termed the lima and the palea and a flower. The lima or the flowering gloom is the lower and the larger bract, typically with an odd number of veins. The palea is the upper smaller bract which has two veins and is partially enveloped or enclosed by the lima. A bract like awn may be present at the apex of glooms or limas. Each grass flower is usually called a floret. It arises in the axil of strile bract called the lemma. Lemma may have a bristle-like appendage, long or short, known as awn. Number of awns on a lemma varies from 1 to few, usually 5 awns in Stipa palmata. Sorry, awns in Stipa palmata are 12 inches long and covered with dense hairs. In Hodium Poaceae, awns are absent. Lemma may be 1 or 1 to 5 or 5 to 6 nerved. Opposite the lemma is another scaly bract called the palea or the pale. It is 2 nerved and keeled. Lemma and palea are equivalent to bracts and bracteoles. So the flower can be described as bracteate, bracteolate, sessile, incomplete, bisexual, as in Triticum, Avena, Hodium and Oryza, or sometimes unisexual as in Giames, irregular, zygomorphic, hypogynous, cyclic. Unisexual flowers may be borne on the same plant as in Giames or different. Spinifax litorius. Let us see again the actual picture and try to understand the structure again. आप नीचे से देखेंगे तो पहला ग्लूम है जिसको हम ग्लूम 1 लिखा हुआ है, ग्लूम 2 लिखा हुआ है, ये दूसरा ग्लूम है, ये एम्प्टी रहते हैं हमेशा। ऊपर की पिक्चर में ये दोनों ग्लूम्स दिखाए गए हैं, ग्लूम 1 और ग्लूम 2, ये एम्प्टी हैं। रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, ये खाली रहते हैं, इनमें कोई भी फ्लोरेट्स नहीं होते हैं और इनको हम ब्रेक्ट्स कहते हैं बेसिकली, और ये एक दूसरे के ऑपोजिट मिलेंगे। उसके बाद ऊपर जो ब्रेक्ट्स हैं ये सारे के सारे भरे हुए होते हैं। भरे का मतलब इनके एक्सेल के अंदर फ्लावर निकलता है, ठीक है। इन ब्रेक्ट्स को, जो पहला जो ब्रेक्ट है इसको हम लीमा कहते हैं। ठीक इसके ऑपोजिट जो है एक और ब्रेक्ट होता है जिसको हम पेलिया कहते हैं। ये बेसिकली इक्वलेंट है, पहला जो है लीमा जो है इक्वलेंट है ब्रेक्ट का और वो है ब्रेक्टियोल्स का। और इसके ऊपर जो है फ्लावर है, फ्लावर के जो हैं 2 आपके लॉडिक्यूल्स और जो हैं एंड स्टेमन्स और जो है कार्पेल हमें ऊपर नज़र आते हैं। तो इस तरह से ये हमें इसके अंदर यहाँ इस पिक्चर के अंदर 3 फ्लोरेट्स दिख रहे हैं, लेकिन जो हैं और जो हैं ऊपर के फ्लोरेट्स देखें तो ये एम्प्टी हैं। यहाँ स्ट्राइल फ्लोरेट्स आपको नज़र, या तो स्ट्राइल फ्लोरेट्स हैं या फिर जो हैं एम्प्टी फ्लोरेट्स नज़र आते हैं, एम्प्टी ग्लूम्स नज़र आती हैं। और अब जो है हम बात करें पेरिएंथ की। पेरिएंथ जैसे मैंने बताया था आपको, इट इज़ रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय स्केल लाइक लॉडिक्यूल्स एट द बेस ऑफ फ्लावर। देयर मे बी 2 इन ट्राइटिकम एविना ओराइजा और मे बी 3 इन एरुडिनेरिया और many in bamboo or may be absent as in dendrocalamus, dinoclova. These are considered to form the rudimentary perianth. पेरिएंथ मैंने आपको, पेरिएंथ जो वर्ड है कैलिक्स और कोरोला के लिए यूज़ करते हैं। ये दोनों जो डिफरेंट भी हो सकते हैं, कैलिक्स और कोरोला डिफरेंट भी हो सकते हैं, एक जैसे भी हो सकते हैं। यहाँ जो है ग्रामिनी फैमिली के अंदर जो पेरिएंथ है, यानी कि हमारा जो कैलिक्स और कोरोला है, वो इन लॉडिक्यूल्स से जो कि स्केल लाइक होते हैं, शाइनी से होते हैं, इनसे रिप्रेजेंट किया जाता है। ये उसके जगह पर हमारे लॉडिक्यूल्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं। एंड्रोशियम को देखें तो एंड्रोशियम में जो है नंबर ऑफ स्टेमेंस वेरी करते हैं, 6 to 12 in Aucklandra, 6 in various species of Bambusa, Oryza and Dendrocalamus. In case of Triticum, Avena and Giames, the number is 3. In Agrostis, the number is 2 to 3. 1 to 3 stamens are present in various species of Lepturus, Agrostis. 2 stamens are present in Coleanthus. 1 is present in Uniola. The stamens are polyandrous, that is, they are free. Filaments are long, cylinder and exerted. Sometimes they are inserted. Anthers are basifixed and dorsifixed. Basifixed or dorsifixed. Bithecus. Dehiscence is by longitudinal slits, extros, and they are versatile. This slide shows the pictures of Oryza steva flower, Ergrostis siliensis, rice plant, Uniola paniculata, and Coleanthus subtilis. Gynoecium is monocarpellary, superior, unilocular. Ovule is single, erect, campylotropous or sometimes anatropous or even can be orthotropous. It has basal placentation. Ovule is usually sessile, ovary glabrous or hairy in some genera. Style is absent in Avena triticum or shore, Uniola olea, or long, hollow and cylindrical in Schizostachyium. Stigma, uh, uh, sorry, repeat this one. The style is absent in Avena triticum or short, it is short in Uniola or long, hollow and cylindrical in Schizostachyium. Stigmas are two. They arise directly from the ovary in Avena and triticum, usually feathery or plumose. The fruit is capsule. It is a single seeded fruit with the pericarp inseparably fused with the testa. It is also called as grain. Rarely a nut or berry or utricle is seen in this family. The seeds are endospermic. Endosperm is abundant. The plumule and the radicle, they are surrounded by a distinct sheath called coleoptile and coleorhiza respectively. Single cotyledon is called scutellum. The seeds may be flattened, winged or have hairy pappus. In some grasses, the glumes and limas bear teeth, barbs, bristles or stiff awns that adhere to the bodies of animals and help in the dispersal of grains. This is the floral formula of the family. Flowers are bracteate, actinomorphic, bisexual, unisexual, male or female. Perianth is 2 or 3 or 6 or 2 to 12. Androecium consists of 3 or 6 or 6 to 12 stamens or 2 or 1 stamens. Gynoecium is monocarpellary with a superior which is shown by the line shown below. Economic importance, food crops. It is most important family as cereals and millets, which constitute the chief foodstuff of mankind, belongs to it, like Oryza steva, wheat and corn or maize. This family also includes other food crops such as barley, pearl millet, oats, rye, sorghum. Young shoots of several species of bamboos are dendrocalamus and philostiches. They are used as vegetables in daily diets of the people of China, Japan, Taiwan, and it's a gourmet item in other parts of the world. In India also the young shoots of the several species of bamboos are used in eastern parts of India. Most fodder crops which are equally important to domestic animals belongs to this family like cynodon, andropogon, agropyron and phleum are major forage grasses. The grasses are also used for lawns. Grasses such as cynodon dactylion, lovethorn, axonopus, agrostis are extensively used in lawns and turfs. Sugars is obtained from sugar cane, Saccharum officinarum, which is the major source of sugar and jaggery. This family provides building material. The extraordinary strength and the lightness of bamboo stems make them an excellent building material in the construction of houses and temples, woven mats and bowls, trays and other vessels. Paper industry. Sabai grass and bamboo are the sources of paper, pulp. Cereal grains and sugarcane are major sources of industrial starch used in the paper and plastic industries. Decorative grasses are also obtained in from this family. Some common decorative grasses are ribbon grass, Phleris arundinacea, dwarf bamboo, Bambusa nana, certain species of panicum, pampas grass, cortaderia, Silona, paspalum. Perfumes and essences are also obtained from in this family from several plants like lemongrass, Cymbopogon. Leaves are distilled to yield essential oil for imparting citronella scent. Roots of Vetiver giganoides, vetiver grass are used for making fragrant cooling pads and extraction of vetiver oil. Alcohol is obtained from the plants of this family, like sugarcane is used to generate alcohol to power automobiles and for the manufacture of rum. Alcoholic beverages are distilled from other crop grasses, like barley provides the beer malt, rice is used in the production of sake, and corn for bonbon. Wheat, rice, corn, and barley contribute to the making of whiskies and vodka. Even necklace beads from coax Lachryma jobi spikelets. The plant has ecological importance. Grasses occur in almost every habitat around the world from the equator to the polar regions, sea level to the mountain heights, and aquatic to desert environments, and they hold the soil and they are valuable, they contribute immensely in to the for the degradation of the to prevent the degradation of the soils. These are the sources, and I am thankful to these sources. These are the suggested readings you can go through, and ultimately thank you all dear students, and I am thankful to all the sources from where I have taken the pictures. My regards to all of them.